Peace and blessings, YouTube family. Welcome again to another edition from the Doctor's Corner. Certainly hope everyone has had a phenomenal weekend. It has been extremely busy and impactful for me. I tell you, my weekends oftentimes really there's no difference between during the week and the weekend. Sometimes, like this weekend, I ended up working even more than I usually would during the week. So, in any event, hope everyone is well. Hope everyone has found a way to refresh, relax, regroup, refuel. Certainly hope that in some way, in some form, you're finding a way to, give yourself, place yourself a little higher up on that list of importance, right? Forgive me if you hear a little humming noise in the background. I'm even at this late hour. I am attempting to practice what I've been preaching in terms of self-care. So, getting a little soak in right now, and with my feet, and there are certainly some. You go out there and read. There are quite a few different sources that suggest, in terms of when you're soaking your feet, you're able to extract a lot of those toxins, I guess I should say, from your body. And it appears to be a lot of therapeutic support and benefits with that. And so, I'm attempting to do that. Supposedly, that also helps you rest a little bit better at night. So, I don't know. This will be the first time that I've done this, and leading into going to bed. So I'll be able, maybe I'll report at a later date to say whether or not it was effective or not. As I mentioned to you in previous conversations, I know one of the things that I need to do is sleep better. I need to rest better, as it pertains to taking better care of myself. But just wanted to kind of speak to you just very briefly this evening. I was talking to my daughter earlier today, and we were, as we were engaged in doing some things together, like cleaning our vehicles and that sort of a thing, and a lot of other things around the house. And she mentioned to me about a report that she had completed on loneliness, and I thought that was, I've said to your family, it's just amazing to me how topics, just appear to just jump right in my lap, right in. I mean, the forefront of my whole way of thinking. Because when she informed me of that, at that time I was thinking about the effects of that, right? We were outside in the yard basically all day today, and so as it relates to my mother, had not had an opportunity to really engage with her the way that I typically would. But as each of you know, the days begin, they appear to get shorter and shorter, and things that you have on your list, you just don't get a chance to seemingly ever, minimize that list, right? And as life continues to life, things just get added onto it, and so at some point you just have to, push through and put your foot down and say, okay, I got to get this done today. And so, that's pretty much what this week has been. As weather is on the, on the verge of changing. We're going into different seasons, and so I was, doing a lot of things in terms of trying to, get my lawn prepared for the change of season and that sort of a thing. So just been doing just a lot of things that's been on the list to do. And so, in any event, as we talked about loneliness, and as it pertains to our journey, our life as caregivers, The majority of us as family caregivers are caring for, our elders, right? I mean, that's really where the focus of our conversations has been in terms of elder caregivers, right? And so as we talk about that, we already understand that that's a high risk demographic, right? High risk for several scenarios, whether we're talking, cognitively, physically. It represents a very high risk group. And so as we talk about loneliness, I was just curious to know, what does the medical field have to say about loneliness and our elder family members? What kind of correlation have they discovered as it pertains to mental or physical deterioration of that? And mainly my thought process, I think about those of you who are out there in the stratosphere right now, that you may not be in this full-time role, right? But it may be a scenario whereby you see it on the horizon. You know that eventually you're going to have to face that decision in terms of whether or not you're going to become that full-time caregiver for your mom, for your dad, for your parents, for your grandparents. And so I just want to encourage you, as you think about, if that family member is in a scenario right now where they're alone, where they're by themselves, I encourage you that even if you can't, because listen, this is not something that, I mean, there are a lot of responsibilities, a lot of sacrifices that go into this role. And so I get it, right? I understand everyone can't assume this life, this way of conducting, the day in, day out, challenges that often occur with this role. I get it, but I will encourage you, do everything you can to be sure that you spend time with your family members, right? Spend time. If you have, if you have an elderly parent who is by themselves, aunt, uncle, someone that means, a lot to you, and they are up in age, uh, you know, may have challenges, may not have any challenges right now, right? I want to encourage you. I'm going to give you some data here shortly, to just think about, if they're all alone, if if their social if their social foundation has been challenged, particularly if they're unable to, go to church the way they used to, or maybe they've recently retired, whatever the scenario may be, where they just don't have that level of social connectivity that they once did. I'm encouraging you, family. Listen, the price of loneliness, in terms of the impact and effects that it could potentially have, is can be traumatic. It can be traumatic. So, as we talk about that, once again, going to the this is an article that was conducted January 2024, and you can go to the International Journal of Molecular Sciences. This is from the National. This is from the National Health Organization, I think it is. Let's see here. Not the National Health Organization, but the National Library. And The title of it is Correlations Between Dementia and Loneliness. They reported here around 55 million people worldwide suffer from this condition. So, as they talk about the correlations between dementia and loneliness, they talk about dementia represents a pressing medical and social concern for both the present and the forthcoming years. Around 55 million people worldwide suffer from this condition, and this is expected to rise to 78 million by 2030 and 139 million by the World Health Organization, according to the World Health Organization. It also has significant economic implications with global societal cost of dementia of $1.3 trillion and with an expected rise to $2.8 trillion by 2030, according to the World Health Organization. Get this, there are multiple risk factors for this disorder, but one of them occurs to be especially important due to today's lifestyle: loneliness. Let's see here. They say the crucial influence of social isolation and loneliness on mental and physical health in old age is evident. These factors are linked to psychiatric disorders, including anxiety, depression, psychotic disorders, and Alzheimer's disease, as well as physical conditions such as cardiovascular diseases and autoimmune diseases. Here's the real telling piece of this study, where in 2020, let's see here, there was a study that was conducted of a group of healthy individuals, 6,677 healthy individuals, where the study concluded loneliness was positively correlated with dementia after more than 6 years and negatively to being married. Don't really know what that last part pertained to. But here's another study that study was conducted in 2020. Another study that was conducted in 2014 was of a group of 2,173 people without dementia. And the findings were older people with feelings of loneliness were more likely to develop dementia after 3 years. In 2021, another study was conducted of 2,880 participants. Persistent loneliness is a risk factor for neurocognitive impairment, whereas transient loneliness may be a protective factor. So there is, here is another study in 2018 of 7,867 healthy individuals, where the findings were a greater correlation between isolation and dementia among men. That's very interesting. I just wanted to share that information with you, family. Don't know exactly if any of that applies to any one of you, but certainly as it relates to if you have a family member, once again, that may be in that scenario where they're not getting that level of, no one's coming over to visit like they used to. They're spending a lot of time. I would encourage you to, find other studies. This is only one. Find other studies of, to gather what that may mean for that family member. And so hopefully that would encourage you in terms of, hopefully that will help you. For those of you that may be on the fence of making that decision in terms of taking in, you're wondering, you're balancing out the ideas and the thoughts in terms of you're weighing all the options, right? Is it better to leave them by themselves or bring them to your space where they know they would have some sense of connection with someone on a day-to-day basis? I would encourage your family to strongly think about it, because I mean, just based upon this minimal research that I just read to you, which is, this is only one study, right? But it's one study that, you know, had supporting evidence from several other studies that suggest, loneliness can certainly have, it appears to have, it can appear, it appears to potentially lead, is what I'm trying to say, potentially lead to, you know, neurological, setbacks like dementia. So, anyway, family, won't keep you any longer. Just wanted to share that with you. Just wanted to provide you with that bit of information, and once again, hopefully that'll help someone out there. So, once again, hope you have a great evening. Hope you're prepared for a wonderful, fantastic week. And until we speak again from the Doctor's Corner. Hey, listen, also before I leave, let me just say, listen, hey, help the channel if you would. If you find any of this information that's helpful, please smash that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell. The notification will let you know anytime I drop a video. That will certainly go a long way in terms of helping this channel grow, which is what we want to do. We want to grow this community. And so if you would, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit that like button for me, if you would. Hit that subscribe, share this information with someone that you know. Maybe, this video doesn't pertain to you directly, but maybe you know someone who's in that scenario where they're battling the thoughts on whether or not they want to partake on this type of a role. And maybe this is a conversation that they could have with their own siblings, right? With their own family, as they make their decision in terms of bringing that family member, that elder care member, into the home, to maybe combat the level of loneliness that they may be experiencing. So, anyway, family, hey, listen, until we speak again, take care, peace, be well.